Hey, hey, hey. How's everybody doing? It's Allison Rozelle, also known as Coach Roz. And I am here on day 21 of our 40 days of sacred clearing for women over 40. I'm gonna apologize in advance, as I always give a disclaimer, but I have to do it. I've been battling with my sinuses as I've let you guys know. That's why I haven't been doing videos because, whew, like my throat and my chest from coughing and stuff has just been awful. And plus, I didn't want to get on here and be all snotty and sniffly. As you can see, there's still a little nasalness going, but we're going to push through that because I feel so much better than I did. So yes, so we will continue on this. Excuse me. So, first of all, today, at the time of this recording, is election day. So that means, hopefully, if you have not voted yet, I'm going to need you to go vote. You can watch the replay, but I'm going to need you to go vote. You have, if you're on the East Coast, like me, in Eastern Standard Time, you have like an hour left to vote, and then count back from there, depending on where you are. So if you're in Central Standard Time, then you have, I guess, 2 hours, and on and on and on. But still, if you haven't voted, go and exercise your right. Yes, your right to vote. That's all I'm going to say about that. Okay, so today I wanted to talk about, excuse me, your new role as an empty nester. Now, I do recognize that some of you are not empty nesters. Some of you aren't an empty nester yet. Some of you don't have any children at all. That's okay. We're all starting over from different points of our lives. But I did want to talk to the empty nesters or future empty nesters to let you know a few things that I've learned as I have become more and more of an empty nester. So I just wanted to talk about your roles because it's very important for us to understand that, before, when our children are smaller, when they're, we'll say, under 18, right? So our role was very different. It was make sure they have, lunch money for school, make sure that they're getting enough sleep, that they're eating correctly, that they are, in activities that will keep them active and well-rounded, and excuse me, make sure that they're reading, make sure that they are healthy and happy, and all these responsibilities, keep a roof over our heads, food on the table, and all these other survival things. Well, see, now that your child is older, is grown, you don't really have to worry about that no more. Now, don't get it twisted. I still worry about Christian. I do. I sit and I'm like, oh, I hope he's eating. I hope he is drinking a lot of water. I hope that he is taking care of his body, because as a chef, he stands on his feet all day long. That he's careful with the knives, and because he'll, if I see him, he has scars and cuts and all this. And I'm like, son, what are you doing? He's like, well, Mom, I'm in the kitchen and everything goes really fast. So, I don't know anybody that's in the kitchen as a chef or a cook that doesn't like burn themselves or cut themselves or something. But I'm like, okay, but yeah, I need you to be careful. Please. So I do worry about stuff like that. I worry, is he getting enough sleep? How's the relationship with his girlfriend? How, is he, adjusting to life in, Miami? All those things. Does he miss me? All that stuff. So I do think about those things. But at the same time, I recognize the fact that I'm not, I don't have the responsibility of that anymore. And I'll explain it. Because when he was younger, when he was under my care, then yeah, I had full responsibility to make sure that he did everything that he was supposed to do, that I was doing my part, etc., etc. But as an adult for him, now he's got to learn. Oh, I need to eat. Oh, I need to make sure I'm eating fruits and vegetables. Oh, I need to make sure I'm getting enough sleep. Oh, I need to make sure that, I'm doing the right things because, I stand on my feet all day, as far as like health and wellness for my body. Oh, I need to make sure that, I said my prayers. I want to make sure that I, called mom and said hello, or, just anything, that I paid my car note, that I paid my phone bill, that I did this, that I did that. It's now on him. It's not on me. It's not on me to do that anymore. So the hard part of that is to let go. Yeah, that's hard. It's really hard to let that go. But once you do, it's a very, I'll say, relieving thing when I finally looked at my son and was like, you know what? He's an adult and he's got this. I raised a good son. I did. And, I brag on the fact I raised a damn good son. Hello, hair toss. So why am I worried about it? Why should I worry about it? I need to trust him, and I need to trust God. I need to trust that when my prayers go up for him, that they are going to the heart of God that will take those prayers and cover him, protect him, and keep him. So I have to use my faith and trust in God. And I have to just let go and understand that I have no control over that anymore. And you know what? I'm kind of okay with that. Because that takes a load off of me to sit and be like, okay, I need to make sure he's eating and all this kind of stuff. So I don't have to do that no more. So that's part one of my new role. Part two is learning to accept my son doing something for me. That's kind of hard. So I'll give you an example. So when I was out of work, my computer went down. I was like, oh my gosh, here I am. I've started this blog. I'm doing all these things. I'm trying to start my Coach Roz business and get it off the ground. And I'm learning things, and I've started coaching, receiving coaching, and things were starting to pick up on that, and boom, my computer dies. So what I'm stuck with is this little tablet trying to get stuff done. Now the tablet did what it could do, but I was like, okay, I still, I was trying to do some real estate deals so I could make sure I keep money and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, it's kind of hard to do that stuff with no computer. And going to the library and all this other stuff, it's cute, but that's not the way to go. So I was really frustrated trying to make sure I save up enough so I can either get my current computer fixed or go and get me another one, which I really didn't want to do because, I just didn't. So I was in a pickle. Well, one day, it was on a Sunday. This is before he moved to Florida, but he was already, he had already left the nest and had a roommate here in Atlanta. So he calls me, he's like, Mom, I'm about to come over for a second and say, hey. I'm like, okay. He was like, I want to say hey before I go to work. And I'm like, okay, that's fine. So he comes over. And I look down, he has a bag in his hand. And so he hands me the bag. And I'm like, what are you doing? And I look down, it's a brand new laptop. And I was like, I was speechless. I could not, like, there were no words. And then everything in me said, don't take it. This is your child. He doesn't have enough money to do this. Why are you accepting this? Don't take this from him. You can figure it out on your own and get your own computer, but don't take this from him. Don't do it. And I looked up at him because he's taller than me now. And I'm like, Christian. And before I could even say how or why or anything else, all of a sudden, all these emotions start coming out. And I'm crying. And I can't stop crying. And he puts his arms around me. He says, Mama, I don't want you to worry. I want you to take this computer. He's like, because I already know what you want to say to me. And I don't accept it. But you will accept this computer. Because if I couldn't do it, I wouldn't do it. So I need you to take it. Take it because you know you need it. And that made me cry harder. But it made me also think, here I am about to turn down something just because it's coming from my child. And not looking at the fact that he's a grown man now. He makes his own money. And he makes good money, by the way. And he wants to do this for his mother because he believes in his mom. He believes in what I'm doing. He loves reading my blog posts. He loves things that I write and post and stuff like that. And he believes in me. And he basically was telling me, Mama, you've always had my back. Now let me have yours, at least on something. So I say all that to say this. Your role is different now. It's okay to accept something from your children. It's okay to let them do things for you. You know, let them treat you to dinner. Let them buy you something. If, you know, it's not your concern of whether or not they can afford it. Because I'm pretty sure that if they couldn't, they wouldn't do it. Because I find myself fussing at my own mother. Whenever she tries to tell me not to do something, I'm like, but Mama, if I couldn't do it, I wouldn't do it. If I didn't have it, I wouldn't give it to you. So, yeah, take that. That's your new role. Is learn to accept the fact that your children are grown and they're their own person. And you did a great job raising them. So why not let them give back to you, right? Why not let the seeds bring you back the fruit? Why not? Why not? You have sown into your children all of their lives. Why not reap what you've sown? I've always taught my son to give back. I've always taught him to be upstanding and do the right thing. I've always told him that it is important for you to do what you feel is right. I've always told him that no matter what, if it's something that you really want, if it's something that you really want to do, don't let nobody stop you, including me. So in that moment, I had to eat my words because I was like, yeah, I'm not going to stop him from doing something that he so obviously wanted to do. So your new role is to now take the back seat. Take a chill pill. Sit back and relax. Your children are good. You raised them well. They still are in your life. It's just on a different level. You don't have to worry no more. You're still going to worry. I got it. Because I still do. I still send them a text out. You know, if I wasn't using my phone right now to tape this, I would show you some of the string of text messages of me fussing about, you know, things that I know he should be taking care of. But then I have to step back and be like, nope, not my role anymore. Let me assume my role. Let me fall back. So that's what I want to convey to you is it's okay to take a step back. It's okay to not be in charge because you can't be in charge of them no more. They're grown. Your task now is to focus on you. Focus on you. You gave all this time, you know, and it was like I was telling someone, I always taught my son to live his life on his own terms. And it's funny that I always taught him that, but I didn't do it until now. I've learned that if I'm going to teach him to live his life on his own terms, if I'm going to teach him to walk the walk and not just talk the talk, then I better be walking the walk. And I better be living my life on my own terms and assume my role as mom. I'm still mom, excuse me, but my role is different now. I don't have to worry. I gave him to God. God got him. He all right. And the one thing that I do know, if he makes mistakes, so what? I made them. Still gonna make them, right? But the best thing about it is, if you taught them well, they'll take those mistakes, those mishaps, and look at them as the lesson, which will give them the blessing. So your so-called mistakes and mishaps are just lessons to give you the blessing. That's it. Simple. Sometimes you got to go through some pain. Sometimes you got to go through some frustration. Sometimes, you know, you got to let them be hard-headed. You know what comes at the end of on the other side of that. But you got to let them do it, right? So that's what I wanted to just tell you about your new role. You can just slow your roll and take on your new role and be excited about this part of your life, because it is a great time. You know, yes, you miss your babies, but get yourself so wrapped up in you and your new life that then your babies are going to be calling you, "Where are you, mama? What you doing?" Yeah. See, I like it when my son does that to me. He's like, "Mama, what are you doing now? Don't worry about it." I got this. So that's all I got. Just wanted to tell you that you need to just take on your new role and take it in stride and just be like, my kids are fine. Now it's my time. Period. All right? So, that's all I got. Excuse me. I'm going to upload this to my SoundCloud account, because like I told you, the Starting Over podcast is coming. My moment of sickness has kind of pushed me back a little bit, so now I got to get caught up. But fear not, it's still coming, and I'm going to put all the information for it once it starts. We'll have a whole launch and everything, but you can enjoy the pre-launch of it by listening to the 40 days on SoundCloud. You go to soundcloud.com/Coach Roz. And that way, if you've missed out on any of the days so far, you can just take a listen. You can listen to it on the go. All right, so that's all I got today. Hope you have a wonderful day. Thank you so much for joining me. I love you, and there's nothing you can do about it. Bye.